अच्छी बात क्या है कि फ्राइडे को मैंने देखो जो शुरुआत की थी वो स्लाइड ऑफ सक्सेस, जो पहली स्लाइड थी वो मैंने कहा था ये सक्सेस की स्लाइड है। इसमें जो भी कुछ लिखा हुआ है, हमारे लाइफ में जो भी हमें सक्सेस चाहिए ना, तो सब ये हमें फॉलो करना पड़ेगा। ड्रीम देखना पड़ेगा, खुद को अपग्रेड करना पड़ेगा, ट्रांसपेरेंसी चाहिए। तो इसमें सक्सेस होने के लिए एग्जैक्ट क्या करना है मैं अभी आपको बताता हूं कि ये प्रोजेक्ट है। तो पहले तो बात है, हम लोग बहुत एक्साइटेड होने चाहिए कि बचपन में हमने देखा है, हम लोग जब स्टूडेंट थे तो मुझे पता है, मैं केमिस्ट्री का ना प्रोजेक्ट, हमें वो लैब में जाके वो प्रोजेक्ट कंप्लीट करना होता था। फिर हमारी जो केमिस्ट्री की जर्नल है वो पूरी फिजिक्स की, और ये वो प्रोफेसर आते थे, वो कंप्लीट चाहिए उनको। तो रात रात भर हम लोग उसका दूसरे का कॉपी बीपी करके कैसे भी करके वो तैयार करते थे और प्रोफेसर के पास लेके जाते थे। तो कंप्लीट करना है, एक ही मन में रहता था। अभी ये हमारे हाथ में ये प्रोजेक्ट आ गया है और हमें ये कंप्लीट करना है। लेकिन सिर्फ कंप्लीट नहीं करना है, हमें उसमें जो चाहिए ना वो मिलना चाहिए। जो रिमार्क है वो हमारा एकदम वेरी वेरी गुड चाहिए। तो वो कैसे होगा? अभी देखो माउंटेनियरिंग में ना, कोई भी पीक क्लाइंब करना है, और जिसने कभी माउंटेनियरिंग शब्द ही नहीं सुना है और किसी को पता भी नहीं है ट्रेकिंग क्या है, हाइकिंग क्या है, क्लाइंबिंग क्या है, उसका डिफरेंस भी पता नहीं है, और ये स्पोर्ट्स जो एडवेंचर कैटेगरी में आता है वो भी उसको पता नहीं है, और वो चला गया और उसने कहा कि चलो मैं क्लाइंब करूंगा, क्या बात है, मैं एकदम फिजिकली फिट हूं और विल पावर अच्छा है मेरा, और वो माउंटेन में क्लाइंब करूंगा। आपको क्या लगता है, वो सक्सेस हो जाएगा? गारंटी उसको सक्सेस नहीं मिल सकती है, क्योंकि ये स्टोरी मैं कभी आपको बाद में बताऊंगा कि ये बिजनेस से मैंने कैसे रिलेट की। तो अभी हमारे मेंटर जिसका हम लोग इंतजार करते हैं कि हम कैसे ये बिजनेस में सफल होंगे, ये मेंटरिंग से हमें क्या मिलेगा। आज बहुत से नए लोग भी यहाँ मुझे दिख रहे हैं, तो सभी को आज मंडे का इंतजार रहता है, और हम सभी ने अच्छा अभी प्रमोट करने लगे हैं। तो पूरा कंट्रोल अभी मैं हमारे मेंटर लियो एंड टिफनी जेसुडियन को दे रहा हूं। थैंक यू।
Hello, it's Tiffany.
यस टिफनी।
Hey, I'm trying to get my video started and it's just not going. And I'm trying to change the name to Tiffany Jesudian and it's just not happening. So I'm so sorry about that, but I can talk to you for a few minutes. And trying to get it up and running. All right, well, I'll work on that a little bit. And in the meantime, talk to you a bit about mentorship. So I was talking to somebody the other day who is not part of our mentorship program. He's actually one of the pastors in our church, a junior pastor. And above him, there's a senior pastor. And he was telling me how very valuable it is to have somebody in his life who kind of sees things from a different perspective, a non-emotional perspective, who can tell him, hey, you better watch it here, or have you ever thought of this? This would be a great idea. And they really, he says, I'm so fortunate to have that. And I said, most people don't have that in their lives. Most people are going through life independently, making countless decisions and just hoping that the decisions that they make are good. And the usual situation is that some of the time our situations are good, where we make the right decisions. And some of the time we make the wrong decisions and then we try to correct. But having a mentor in your life means that you make more of the right decisions. So nobody is perfect, that's for sure. Nobody in this life is perfect. So it doesn't mean if you're in a mentorship program that your life will be perfect. But as far as achieving goals efficiently and effectively, having a mentor is key. So my conversation with that pastor just brought to the realization again how fortunate we are, because through our program, you will eventually find just the right mentor, just the right mentor. And having a person like that in your life is something that is not available to most people. And they don't know how to get it, and they don't know how to keep it. But it certainly is available here, and I think that that is very valuable. So let's talk a few specifics about the mentorship program and how it works with this business. First of all, you don't have a boss, so there's nobody telling you what to do. There's nobody that says you have to do this, or we don't like you anymore. The mentorship relationship is different. It's one with growing trust that grows and grows and grows and grows over the years. And it's one where the mentor wants to support you. They want to understand what you'd like in your life, and then they want to help you get that. Isn't that nifty? It's a support situation. It's a support situation. I'm still trying to get my video on, and it is just not happening. It's not happening. Sorry about that. We could shift computers, but that will take some time. So I'll just keep going. The mentor will correct you. So there's times where everybody needs correction, but the mentor doesn't come and say, well, that was stupid, or you're stupid. The mentor comes and says, well, here's what's going to happen if you keep going that direction. But if you change course and do this or try this, then this will be the direction that you can go. And usually, if you're a great protege, who would be somebody who would be listening to the mentor, you will make that adjustment, and you can avoid a lot of trouble or heartache or disasters down the road. So the mentor-protege relationship is special. And it's not one like you've ever had before if you've never had a mentor. When you come into a mentorship group, it's wonderful because everybody supports everybody else. In this team, and I know that everybody can attest to it, that the leaders here today, in this team, we're creating an environment where you are encouraged to grow, encouraged to make the necessary changes that you need to build the business that you want or have what you want in life. You are encouraged to change. You're in an atmosphere where people don't ridicule you for dreaming big. Dreaming big is something where if you go and tell your dreams to most people, they'll tell you that you're crazy. They'll tell you that you really shouldn't think that way because you're never going to succeed and you'll never have what you're dreaming about and that you're just silly. Here, just the opposite. through this mentorship program and the corporate culture that we have, your company culture, you're totally encouraged to dream, and you're totally encouraged to learn how to do that successfully. You know, nothing big ever happens if you don't think of it first. And the dream has to be big so that you can not only think of it, but have the desire to achieve it. Small dreams are things that are not important to you, but big dreams are things that are very important to you. So in this culture that we have, you will be taught how to dream. That is a skill set. And you'll not only be taught how to dream, but then you'll be encouraged to dream and dream big. And also in this culture, there is no ridicule. Nobody is going to say to you, you know, well, you're thinking outside the box. Stop that. Nobody will ever say that to you. You would work with your mentor and say, hey, I've been thinking about this. What do you think? And your mentor may say, gee, that's a great idea. Or they may say gee, you could try that. I don't think you'd, ruin your business. Or they could say, nope, we've had experience with some people trying that before, and it absolutely didn't work. So you'll never face ridicule, though. That's the beautiful thing. And this mentorship relationship is a great bond that will be established and full of trust. How often is it in your life that you have somebody that comes along that you can trust? If you have that in your life, it's a rare thing. Hopefully we have it within our family, but when you don't have it within your family, it's a very rare thing that you can find that. Most people you cannot trust. They're selfish. It's human nature. People are selfish and they're in it for themselves. And they want to take from you. But in the mentorship relationship, they want to give to you. They want to pour their wisdom and their knowledge into you. Very different. And having that is unique. Finding that out in the real world is unique. I wish that when I was in my early 20s, I had access to a mentor, because I definitely would have made more of the right decisions. So that relationship grows and grows and grows with trust. And once that trust develops, it happens over time, where you work with your mentor, they give you suggestions, you dare to try them, and they work. And then trust develops both ways. The mentor also needs to trust you, that you live up to your commitments. The mentor will say, what do you want? What do you want out of life? And usually it's going to involve money somewhere. And when it involves money, you need a vehicle to make money. And this is your vehicle. So they'll ask you, what do you want? It will probably revolve around money that you desire. Whatever your desire is, probably you need more money to accomplish that. And then they'll tell you how to make more money. So your responsibility then is to do, it's to act, it's to implement. And when you implement, then you grow. But it's a situation where you will probably need to grow before your business grows. And we've got that all figured out. There's a beautiful system where you can actually partake. It's our training system. You can partake of the books, of the audios, of the functions, the training seminars, and then eventually you will grow if you implement the ideas that are expressed to you with the help of your mentor. And when you grow, then the money will come. People are involved in the mentorship program and they think, okay, the money should come and then I will put in the work. It just doesn't work that way at all. It's the complete opposite. And it does take some time for most people. First of all, you grow. You change the way you think. You understand more about entrepreneurialism. You understand about you and where in the past you have failed and where in the past you have achieved. You'll understand more about your personality, where you succeed and where you need to change your personality a bit and incorporate other things into your personality that help you deal better with people. And that's growth. That's growth that will take place until you are able to, then really charge ahead and really build the business big. You can start making money immediately in the business, but we're talking about lifestyle changes, and that will take some time. So you have to persist and persevere and persist, persevere, and eventually, I know my camera's not working. Leo's telling me my camera's not working. Eventually, it'll catch. What we've seen in the past is most people, they struggle. They struggle in the beginning because change is not easy. And those who will persist through the struggle and make the changes and adapt and stay with it and keep acting. You cannot grow without action. That's how you learn. When you act, you learn. If you're not acting, you're just thinking and conceptualizing these things. But when you act, that's when you learn. If you don't act, you won't learn at all. You won't grow. So the people who stay with it and are persistent and persevere and act, that's when they get into this groove where now they're so effective when they're teaching people, when they're talking to people, when they're initiating conversations with people. They have what they call the magic. The magic you've probably heard through the audios. They've got the magic. And what is the magic? That is when you're electric. You're kind of on fire. You know what you are all about. You understand the business. You understand what you can do for yourself. And most importantly, you understand how you can help other people. And it's knowing these things. It's not feeling like it's a maybe. It's believing these things. And when you have that belief, when you talk to people, it comes out. It comes out in your body language. It comes out in the words that you use. It comes out. It's passion on display. That's what the magic is. It's passion for the business. It's passion that other people can feel. When other people around you feel that, and when you have a system behind you, we've got a 9-step system here on how to help people achieve. So when you have the passion and you have a system with an organized methodology of what needs to be accomplished, the skill set that you need to have to grow in the business, when that all comes together, then your business will begin to explode. It will explode. And that's where we see massive growth, often in short periods of time. Massive growth in short periods of time. People get involved with this program and they expect massive growth in the beginning when they haven't understood and they don't believe. But when you understand and believe and have a mentor that's guiding you and directing you on the most efficient time-saving path, you know, eventually it will become a thing where there's massive growth in a short period of time. So many people give up on themselves and their dreams before that explosion happens. But those who stick with it and implement, they will have that. When that happens, people grow tremendously. You've seen it. You've seen people who were like 100, 300 PV, and they grew by the next function. Well, they're starting to have some belief, and they're starting to have a good mentorship relationship. But where it mostly happens is when you see people that are silver going ruby, and platinum going sapphire, and platinum going emerald, forget the sapphire. You see these explosions. It comes with time. So you must persevere. And when your mentor tells you, hang in there, accept that encouragement, accept it. Whatever you do, whatever they say to do it. They don't want to hurt you. Like I'm trying to remind you, it's a very special relationship, and they do not want to hurt you. And they do not want you to feel embarrassed. They want you to explode and feel wonderful about yourself, and wonderful about the business, and wonderful about things that you have in your future, your direction, your purpose in life. They want to help you get that. It will be so satisfying to the mentor. So with that, I'll hand it over to Leo, who can take it from here.
Fantastic. You sponsored me. You want to put your volume down or kill your mic, right? So taking on from what Tiffany just told you, the biggest process that takes place when you build this business is unlike anything that you are used to outside of this business. What happens is that there seems to be no growth sometimes in your business, either in the beginning, or you grow fast and then you hit a flat spot and you're like, kya ho raha hai? Nothing is happening. What's going on? That is because we need to change. You need to change. I need to change. Everybody needs to change. And the problem is that if we are not bad people, we are happy with ourselves. If you're not a bad person, you're happy with you. So you say, why should I change? I'm happy this way. I'm okay. I'm fine. And you're right. You're happy, you're fine, you're okay, but you're not fantastic. But you're like, oh no, but I'm happy. So fine, then don't look for fantastic. Because if you want to look for fantastic, you must change. You cannot remain the same. Because if you're okay, you are okay. For you to be fantastic, you have to become a different person. If you remain the same, you will remain okay. And if you say, I'm okay, I have a house, I have a car, I pay my bills, I'm doing fine, then stay that way. But if you want to become fantastic and you want things that are more for you and your family and your parents and your community, and you want to do charitable work, and you want to do more than your neighbor, more than your friends, then you have to change. And that is the problem, because there are two things. One is I'm happy. When I came into this business, I heard everybody saying you have to change. And I'm like, I'm thinking, listen, this is the truth. In our business, we learn to tell the truth. I'm thinking, they're not talking to me. because I'm fantastic. They're talking to somebody else. They're talking to the guy sitting here and the guy sitting there. I'm in the seminar and I'm like, they're not talking to me. They're talking to these other people because they need help. I don't need help. I'm okay. I was wrong. I was okay in my field, not in this field. In this field, I had like 3%. Oh, that's not okay. Do you think 3% is okay? I don't think 3% is okay. So when I was at 3%, I was like, they're talking to these people on the side, in the front, in the back, not me. I'm cool. I was at 3%. Then I went to 6%, and I'm like, hey, you see, I can move without them. I don't need them. I can move forward. I went to 9%. I'm like, yeah, I don't need anybody. I'm good on my own. I went to 12%. Now I was like, you cannot tell me anything. Upline, what is upline? Get lost. I'm okay. I'm fantastic. I have international experience. I've been in business for 22 years in the real world, internationally. I don't need to listen to these people. Then from 12%, I went to 9%. I said, what is this? What is this? What's going on? Then I went to 12% again. I said, oh, okay, that was a little bit of a, shake. Don't worry, no problems. Then I went to 15%. I was like, yeah. And then I went to 12% and 9%. And I stayed like that for 1 year, from 12 to 15 to 12 to 9 to 12 to 15 to 9 to 12 to 15 to, I was screwing around for 1 year because I didn't want to change. And I was like there for 1 year. And I'm like, what's going on? By now I should be a platinum. And I'm only at 12%, up, down, up, down, up, down. Then I decided to talk to my upline diamond, Frank Mazzio. And I said, hey, this thing is not working. I'm not quitting. I'm a solid guy. I don't quit. But this thing is not working. And he said, you have to change. I'm like, oh, man. I've heard this on the tapes. In those days, there were tapes, no audios. There are no CDs, no MP3s. There were tapes. I've heard it on the tape. I've heard it on stage. That's for everybody else, Frank. I'm a successful businessman. He says, you got to change. I said, I don't understand it. What part of me needs to change? I know I have to buy my own products. I know I have to sponsor people. I know I have to build under them. I'm doing everything. He says, you need to change. I got frustrated. I'm sure some of you are frustrated because you're hearing this change thing and you're like, there's nothing wrong with me. You only change something that's wrong. You don't change something that's right. And you feel you're right. So what's to change? No, you don't change something that's wrong. You change something to make it better. You see, if they didn't make cars better and better and better, we'd be still driving a 1910 Ford. We would not have any new cars. Would they make the same car again and again and again? You see, to make it better, they have to change the model. They have to change the exhaust. They have to change the fuel injection. They have to change the computers. From carburation, they got to fuel injection to now there are computers running the car. And now you have GPS in the car and you have a sunroof and electric. And now in a Tesla, you just press the button and it drives itself. In America, we've got cars that drive themselves. They park automatically. You don't have to touch the steering wheel. You just press a button and it will park the car in a narrow spot. You see, if you don't, the cars were running good in 1945. Why to change the car? You change it to make it better. Not because it's not working. So even though you're doing well and you're working fine, there's nothing wrong with you, but you got to change to get better. There's nothing wrong with you. You see, I had an attitude, I'm fantastic. Hey, do I want to be better? If you ask anybody, do you want to be better? They will all say, yes, I want to be better. Nobody says no. I don't want to be better. Everybody wants. What's wrong with you? We're trying to make you better. There's nothing wrong with you. In fact, there's everything right with you. God made you fantastic. Now you got to get better. So you have to change. And that is a very, important thing to understand. You have to understand that nobody wants you to change because you're not good. Your wife doesn't want you to change because she doesn't love you. Your husband doesn't want you to change because he's fed up. He's like, tang ho gaya, had ho gayi, kamal hai yaar. No, both of you need to change to become better. And I need to change to become better. And you need to change to become better. Now, if you want a life of freedom, you are free. You are right now free. You can do whatever you want. You can get into your car, or you can if you don't have a car, you get onto your two-wheeler. If you don't have a two-wheeler, you can take a auto rickshaw or a bus or a train or whatever. You can do whatever you want. You can go anywhere. You're fine. You're free. But you have no liberty. Liberty is the ability to do anything that is legal. Liberty doesn't allow you to do illegal things. That's not good. Whatever is legal, you can do whatever you want. If you don't hurt anybody, you don't bother anybody, you can do anything you want. You cannot do that. Because to have liberty, to be liberated. Money releases you from the bondage of somebody controlling your time. Somebody controls your time. I was in business. I was like my own boss. That is the stupidest thing I told myself. They tell you, be your own boss. Kya yaar? Every customer was my boss. Every client was my boss. They told me what to do and I did it. And in my head, I'm like, I'm my own boss. I was the stupidest thing I told myself. And I told myself that, and I believed it. And then when I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that and I couldn't do this, I was like, I'm not free. I mean, I am free, but I'm not liberated. I don't have the liberty. In fact, for 29 years, from 1971 to 2000, 29 years, I never had lunch with my wife. Sit down, have lunch. I never had lunch for 29 years. Not with my wife, not with my girlfriend, not with my ex-wife, not with my friends. I never had lunch with somebody sitting down. It was always a sandwich while we were working. We were always running around. You had a sandwich. That you call liberty? I don't call that liberty. I call that stuck. I never sat down and had lunch, really. Then when I built an emerald ship and I got out of all the nonsense, I sat down and had lunch. Just lunch was like a joy. You'd say, Kamal hai yaar. Even a beggar has lunch. Yeah, we had lunch, we had a sandwich. And you know what? I would take sometimes 1 hour to have a sandwich. Not because it takes me time to chew. I would have a bite, then the phone would ring, then the customer would come, this thing, that thing, that thing. My sandwich is lying on the table for 40 minutes. Then I'd have another bite, then something else would happen, something else. That's not lunch. So if you think you have liberty, I thought I was like, cool, I was fine. I didn't need to change. I needed to change if I wanted to change my life. I desperately needed to change until I got it in my head that I need to change, not because Frank Mazio told me. Frank Mazio told me maybe 10 times, 15 times, 20 times. I would not listen to him. I'm like, you're crazy. Till I told me I need to change, I was not going to change. Now, the saddest thing for me was that we had all the stuff. We had the fine house, the cars. I was driving Mercedes Benz's S-Class, new. Every 2 years, I got a new car. Every 2 years, a new Mercedes-Benz S-Class, the big one. I was flying all over the world. I never flew coach, business class or first class. I stayed in hotel suites, not room. I was like in style, but I was stuck. I couldn't have lunch. I couldn't eat a sandwich without being disturbed. And I was happy to be disturbed because when you're in business, you want to help the customer and make money. But I was stuck. So I want you to understand, where are you stuck? Where are you stuck? If you're not stuck, you don't need this business. If you're not stuck, you don't need this business. But if you're stuck emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually, intellectually, if you're stuck, you need this business. And if you need this business, you need to change. And change is not easy. I want to tell you that. For a person who has tried to change for the last 28 years, it's been difficult. It's been difficult. And it's always difficult. I still don't want to change. We all want to be like, we're happy, we're like fine. And I'm actually in a good position in my life. And Tiffany is in a good position in her life. And we're doing great. It's very difficult to say, okay, we need to change, we need to change, we need to change, we need to change. But we do. Till we die, we need to change, because otherwise we cannot get better. And it's just like the car. How's your car? You buy a new car today. Is it beautiful? Yes, of course it is. Has it got all the stuff, the computers and this thing and the fancy lighting and the interior and the dials and the leather seats and the electric windows and the sunroof and Yes, it's beautiful. Beautiful new car. 5 years from now, it's like, ugh. What do you mean, ugh? No, 5 साल का गाड़ी है यार, like, you know, like मेरे नया गाड़ी चाहिए. क्यों? Why you want to change? It's a good car. 5 years ago, you liked it. Same way 5 years ago, you liked you. Why you need to change? We need to change to get better. There's nothing wrong with us. There's nothing wrong with the car 5 years old. But we need to get better, because you look at your friend car. He just got a new car. Yours is 5 years old. अरे उसकी गाड़ी ऐसी कर रही है, वैसी कर रही है, ये कर रही है, देखा कितनी चमक रही है. अरे यार, मेरे को भी नया गाड़ी चाहिए. Not because your old car is lousy, because you want a better car. And then there are people who have no money. And you know what they say? मेरी गाड़ी पुरानी है लेकिन ऐसी चलती है. अरे ओहो, अरे छोड़ यार, पैसा नहीं है, नहीं तो तू भी नया गाड़ी लेता. बात बकवास कर रहा है तू. That's the way it is. We tell ourselves what we want to hear. Just like I was saying, मैं भी हूँ, मुझे कोई change की जरूरत नहीं है, मैं हूँ मस्त. Bakwas. I told myself bakwas till I straightened my mind out. It wasn't going to happen. once I straightened my mind out, it wasn't going to happen instantly. It takes time. It takes time. So we come to the thing that why should it take time? Okay. Yesterday we attended church online. Even churches like this, you know. I mean, we used to go to church. We used to, you know, it was like a place, you know, of worship. Now it's online. So we're attending church online, and the pastor said something that all of us know. You know it, I know it, but we have to hear it from somebody else for it to sink into the head. And the pastor said this: your dream is given to you by God, not yours. It's not your dream. God gave you the dream. Your dream is not yours. You know why? I'll tell you why. The pastor didn't say this yesterday, but I'll tell you why. If you were to dream for yourself, you would dream just a little bit more than what you have. You would not dream like, wow, big dreams, because they're so far away, you will not have much to dream about those things. You will only dream like a little bit more than what you have today. Thoda sa. But your dreams are so big, they come from a different source. They come from a source where your dreams are so big, they scare you. You get like, I shouldn't even think of it. It's impossible. सोच भी नहीं चाहिए मुझे. No, that I should think like more pragmatically, more reasonable. Try to be, you know, grounded, not be crazy and fantastic, thinking about all these crazy things. And you know what? If you were dreaming, that's what you dream. If you were dreaming of more income, if you're making 50,000 a month, you're dreaming of 65,000. If you're dreaming of, if you're making 1 lakh a month, you're thinking of 1 lakh 25,000. That would be really good. मजा आ जाएगा. 1.25 लाख बना तो यार अभी 1 ही लाख बन रहा है. 1.25 लाख बन गया ना महीने में तो बस चांदी ही चांदी. Problem is that you're not thinking 1 lakh to 1.25 lakh. You're thinking 1 lakh to 5 lakhs. That's like scary, man. It took you how many years to come to 1 lakh? You want 5 lakhs now? How many years is it going to take you to get 5 lakhs? That is because God put the dream in your head. You did not. He thinks big because he is big. And he put a little big thing in your head. And when God puts a dream in your head, you're supposed to go and get it because he's given you the mental ability, the physical ability. He's given you the mind and the heart to win. The problem is everybody around you thinks you're an idiot for thinking this crazy dream. They don't know it's not you, it's God that gave you the dream, just like they gave him the dream, but they suppressed it. We all suppress our dreams if we are not godly. If you're godly, you'll open up and go for your dream. If you're not godly, you suppress your dream. No, I'm godly and I suppress my dream. You don't believe in him. You believe he's there, but you don't believe in him. Because if you believe in him, you will go for your dream, even if it seems impossible. All dreams seem impossible or they're not a dream. If they're just a little bit of advancement, it's a goal. It's not a dream. So if you want to achieve your dream, you've got to believe in God, and he has given you the mental, physical ability and heart to be a champion. Now, the problem is you go, okay, I believe in God, I believe in him, I believe in my dream, I'm ready to go. One other problem. A dream is not a straight line. That's what the pastor said yesterday. Church online. A dream is not a straight line. It's a zigzag. It's a back and forth. It's disasters on the way. You go, why? Well, first of all, experience. Who achieved a dream straight in a straight line? Who achieved a dream anywhere on earth in a straight line? Nobody on earth has recorded, written a book, written in history, that there was, boom, a straight line. There is no such thing. It's a zigzag, back and forth, and fall on your face. Now, in order to achieve a dream, you have to have some qualities that God has given you, but you have to implement. You see, I can give you something as a friend or a mentor, but if you don't implement, it's like this. Have you ever gotten a gift? Have you ever got a gift from a friend that you have not used? Every one of us has gotten a gift from somebody and we haven't used it because it just doesn't, like, it didn't work for us. But we didn't want to say, ye kya leke diya hai? So you said, thank you, this is so nice and all that, and leke rakh diya aur padi rahi hai. सालों के ये किसने दिया आपको? एक दोस्त ने दिया, बहुत अच्छा दिया, लेकिन मेरी जिंदगी में ये काम नहीं आया. We did not use the gift. We just left it there. So we have done that with real gifts. But the biggest gift is your dream that God gave you, and you're putting it on the shelf and saying, no, like, leave it there. It's not possible. You have to implement. You have to get it going. So it doesn't matter that you got this gift, this dream as a gift for you. It doesn't matter that you are qualified mentally, physically, emotionally, and have the heart. You have to implement. And the problem is, some people actually implement. But comes the second thing you need. Implementing will be zigzag, back and forth, and fall on your face. So what happens is people say, acha, this is not going to work. ये नहीं होने वाला है, अभी नहीं होगा ये. ट्राई किया मैंने, कामयाब हूं मैं, ये नहीं होने वाला है. So what is that you need? The first thing is implementation. The second thing is perseverance. Perseverance means don't give up. You cannot give up. You go, but it's like, it seems like I'm not going anywhere. Exactly. Exactly. I have been in a position where I haven't gone anywhere many times in this business and outside this business in my life. I've been in that situation many times. The reason why I've been many times in that situation is I've done many things. And every time you do something, you go through the same stuff. It's not like, अच्छा मैं अभी like successful हूँ, तो अभी मैंने नया चीज चालू किया, तो ऐसा नहीं होने वाला है, ऐसा ही होने वाला है. Doesn't matter how many times you start something, it will be the same. Perseverance. Never quit. Now, you quit bad habits, don't quit good habits. So review the habits that we are teaching. We're teaching you to chase your dream. Is that a good habit or a bad habit? It's a good habit. Don't quit. We're teaching you to grow and become better. Is that a bad habit or a good habit? It's a good habit. Don't quit. We're teaching you to make more money so you can have a better impact on your family and your relatives or your parents or your children or your community. Is that a good habit or a bad habit? It's a good habit. Don't quit. So as long as it's a good habit, don't quit. If we teach anything bad, quit. Go ahead. Quit the business. Don't do it. Why? Because you're telling me to do this and this is bad, Leo. Well, we're not saying anything bad. And nothing has been told to me that was bad. Everything that was told to me was good. I might not like it. When they said you need to change, I did not like it. I was like, what's wrong with me? That was a stupid attitude. There was nothing wrong with me. It was to make me better. So as long as they're trying to make me better, that's a good habit. I should stay with it. So if there's anything we tell you that's wrong, that you say, quit. Now, you might say, new person especially, I don't want to use my friends to get ahead in life. And so that's a bad habit. So I quit. That's the wrong thing. I'm not using my friends. I'm telling my friends to use me. I'm not using my friends. Every friend that listens to me has a better life. I'm telling them to use me as their mentor, as their coach. Use me. So it's just the opposite. New people don't understand that. New people think that we're using our friends to get ahead in life. I have to help somebody go platinum and I only make 4% on their revenue. They make all the money. And I don't make the 4% out of their money. I make it as an override. So really, I am helping them. They're using me and my knowledge base and my wisdom to get ahead. And I make some money as an override. So I'm not using them. They're using my wisdom and my ability and my experience. So it's not a bad habit. I've never not helped somebody in this business. And anybody who listened to me, I'm only a messenger. I'm not the message. I take the message and I give it to you. I give it to anybody who's listening. So anybody that took my message and used it benefited. So how do I use them? I'm not using them. So there's this feeling out there. यार तुम अपने दोस्तों का फायदा उठा रहे हो. अरे मैं कहता हूं मेरे दोस्त मेरे फायदा उठा रहे हैं. And then I want to ask you something simple. मैं आपका दोस्त हूं. आप मेरे दोस्त हो. क्या फायदा नहीं होना चाहिए ये दोस्ती में? There should be faida in the dosti, man. So even if my friend uses me and I use my friend, that is good. As long as we don't abuse each other, as long as we don't misuse each other, we should use each other. Friendship is supposed to benefit both parties. Both parties should benefit in a friendship. दोस्ती का फायदा उठा रहे हैं. दोस्ती का फायदा नहीं उठाएंगे तो क्या? किसका फायदा उठाएंगे हम? तुम्हारा दोस्त का रेस्टोरेंट है, बड़ा भारी रेस्टोरेंट है, कोविड नहीं है, सब लोग जा रहे हैं इधर उधर, लाइफ इज नॉर्मल. दोस्त का रेस्टोरेंट है, दोस्त के रेस्टोरेंट में आप गए, रेस्टोरेंट बिजी है, 1.5 घंटे का वेट है टेबल के लिए, लेकिन दोस्त है, कहता है कोई बात नहीं 5 मिनट में मैं आपको बिठाता हूं. फायदा नहीं हुआ आपका दोस्ती का? हेलो, हुआ क्यों नहीं फायदा? क्योंकि दोस्ती का रेस्टोरेंट बिजी है, 1.5 घंटा लोग ठहरे हैं टेबल के लिए, आपको 5 मिनट में टेबल दे दिया. क्यों? क्योंकि दोस्त है. फायदा उठाया ना आपने. लेकिन ऐसा बेवकूफी बात करते हैं लोग, एंड हम में दम नहीं है, हम सुनते भी हैं. लाइक ठीक है, हाँ मैं समझता हूं. मैं कुछ नहीं समझता हूं. मैं लोगों को फायदा दे रहा हूं, मैं उनका फायदा उठा रहा हूं. इक्वल, बोथ विन, दोनों जीत रहे हैं. दैट्स गुड यार. पूरी दुनिया ऐसे करती तो कोई किसी का हमला नहीं होता, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होता, कोई किसी को मार नहीं डालते जान से, सब कुछ अच्छा होता यदि एक दूसरे का हम फायदा उठा रहे हैं तो। कोई मैनेजर है आप में, आपके नीचे कोई लोग काम कर रहे हैं, आप उनका फायदा नहीं उठा रहे हो आपके पोजीशन में? आप बिजनेस है आपका, आपके पास एम्प्लॉइज है, आपके एम्प्लॉइज का फायदा नहीं उठा रहे हो? नहीं, लेकिन मैं पैसा दे रहा हूं, लेकिन फायदा तो उठा रहे हो ना यार, फायदा बिना कुछ नहीं। So get your mind straight. See, my mind was so messed up when I came into this business. This business straightened out my mind. And it didn't hurt to be Dexter's protege. I stayed with Dexter for many hundreds of hours. And you know what? My brain got to thinking clean. Dexter used to say this all the time. Leo, first get them to think, and then get them to think straight. First get them to think, because most people don't think. I'll tell you why they don't think. They're not stupid, but you go to work, you do the same work for 15, 20, 30 years. You don't have to think. You know it in your sleep. You can do it. नींद में आप कर सकते हो आपका काम, क्योंकि इतने सालों से किया है, तो सोचने की जरूरत नहीं है। काम पे जाओ, ऑटोमेटिक। घर में आओ, बीवी 20, 25, 30 साल की है, क्या सोचने की बात है? इट्स ऑटोमेटिक। बीवी इज ऑटोमेटिक, चिल्ड्रन आर ऑटोमेटिक, एवरीथिंग इज ऑटोमेटिक। Put on the TV, listen to some stupid stuff on TV, and you're not thinking. So Dexter used to say, get people to think. And then once you get them to think, help them think right. That was my case. I was a smart guy. I was a successful international businessman. But let me tell you something. I was also on autopilot, not thinking too much. So remember this. You need to change. You need to persevere. You need to implement and persevere, and then you will realize your dream. And God wants you to realize your dream. Your husband wants you to realize your dream. Your wife wants you to realize your dream. Your parents want you to realize your dream. I want you to realize your dream. So let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Thank you, Leo. It was amazing. Tiffany started and you had taken it to the peak. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Leo. Thank you.
You're welcome.
धन्यवाद गुरु, धन्यवाद।
Thank you, and see you next Monday. And Leo and Tiffany, thank you so much, because you have to run and come for the meeting, and we really appreciate and value your efforts for all of us. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
You're welcome.